Want to take a look inside my pantry and a working stockpile and see what it looks in real life? Well, you're in luck, because that's exactly what we're going to do today in this video. I'm Kristen here at Joyfully Thriving, and thank you for joining me. If you're new here, I'm normally posting about grocery hauls because I work really hard at feeding our family of 6 on a monthly $475 budget. And if that interests you, be sure to go ahead and subscribe, because I share a grocery haul every Thursday showing you what I am buying for our family. Now, I work really hard to keep our budget that low, and it's not easy, but I enjoy the challenge and I enjoy bringing you along on that journey. But one of the other things that I do that definitely saves our money is that I have a stockpile. And what is a stockpile? It's really not anything crazy or complicated. It's simply buying more than what my family needs on a weekly basis. I'm planning ahead. I'm shopping the sales, I'm stocking up, and I'm buying so that we are prepared for whatever happens. I don't know about you, but watching the prices go up and inflation keep creeping up and winter's coming, I'm really feeling an urgency to spend this month stockpiling and rebuilding my stockpile. I have always kind of shopped ahead and bought more, but about 3 years ago, probably right around when COVID hit, a little before that actually, I had started working on a stockpile. And then with shortages and everything, I was so thankful we had that. And as soon as I could, I spent some focused time really working hard to build up my stockpile. Now, I haven't done a big stockpiling trip since then. It's really been adding to my stockpile slowly and surely as I shop throughout the weeks on sales and adding a couple things here and a couple things there. So I have some big goals and I'm excited to share them with you this month. But I know a lot of you wanted to see things as I look before I'm really adding to my stockpile. So that's what today's video is. I'm just gonna take you through my kitchen and my stockpile and show you all of those things. I really have 3 different areas that are where I store things. I have a Lazy Susan, which has some different things right here in my kitchen by the stove. And then I have a small pantry over in my kitchen here. And then down in my basement is where I keep the bulk of my stockpile. Yes, we live in Indiana and we have a basement. It's an unfinished basement, nothing fancy, but I am so thankful. I grew up in Texas, so I fully appreciate the wonder that is a basement, especially because it's cool and I can easily keep things there. So yes, let's just go ahead, let's jump in. Let me show you everything. Stay tuned to the end because I want to talk about what my goals are after you've seen everything as it is. And before I forget, if you're really interested in stockpiling, I do have some free downloads. I'll leave that link to you of checklists and how I go through this whole stockpiling process. So anything that I mention, I'll leave the links in the description box so you can check those out. All right, let's get started and let me show you what my pantry and my stockpile look like right now as of the beginning of October. All right, we're gonna start with my Lazy Susan, which is kind of the main shelf right here next to my stove and things that I use. So I didn't clean up the dust. It's just, this is what it looks like on a regular basis. But this is where I kind of keep my canola oil, olive oil, spray, syrups, honey, vanilla, popcorn seasoning. We love popcorn. Regular vinegar, apple cider's back there somewhere too. We'll just do the top shelf first and I'll go back. We keep crackers in jars. I did this a couple years ago. Love it. It just keeps things a lot fresher and it's easier for kids to get into. Most of the time they've learned to screw them back on tightly. So we have Triscuits, which my one daughter likes. We have Townhouse, some graham crackers there. Homemade granola. We do that. And then I have quick oats and old-fashioned oats. Definitely need to restock those, as you can see there. And then we're going to go down to the bottom shelf and we'll work our way backwards here. I have some pasta right there, rice, some pretzels that I had, some dried apples. Those are almost gone. I should finish those up soon. We have snack jar of these were left over from our road trip, some goldfish. And same thing, fruit snacks, kind of kids snack jars. And then my snack jars with these Lara bars, the mini ones. My daughters love these too, so good. Some straws. Hot chocolate because it's hitting winter weekends. We love to just have a glass of hot chocolate in the mornings. Popcorn, we have that in bulk in the basement because we love to make homemade popcorn. So these are 2 different sizes of jars. I will leave links to those below. This is the slightly smaller one, and then I do have this larger one from Anchor Glass. I've bought them at Meijer and Walmart before. and you can find them on Amazon. So I will leave some links to those in the description as well. So then above the Lazy Susan, we just go straight up right here. This is right by my stove and microwave and everything right there. And I have this little Lazy Susan, and this is just kind of more my spices, peanut butter, shortening. We'll just do a quick turntable. I keep a lot of my packets of taco seasoning and things in there. Some of the bigger jars of spices that I have smaller jars over there, measuring cups. And then again, that's some powdered milk for bread, lemon drops, salts, bulk seasonings from the bulk food store, ranch, more baking things. So baking soda, baking powder, salt, molasses, cornstarch, some raisins, cocoa. I feel like that's running low. Yep, powdered milk. And then very top shelf, we have my muffin tin liners right there. I keep them in canning jars just to keep them separate and skinny ones. This plastic tub holds all our sprinkles for baking. Some kosher salt. These are like my baking things of food dyes and different things in there. Some bran for making some muffins, green tea, and we're back there. And then right next to it, we have this just one little cupboard. Again, not much there. That's some chocolate up on the top, Mom's chocolate stash. Our chips that are open right there on one little shelf, and then nuts is what I keep there. All right, so let's go ahead and we'll just walk across the kitchen here. Here's the kids' play kitchen where they are a lot. And like I said, I have just a little small pantry that we use right here. So let me kind of talk you through what's in our pantry up here. So that's my chip shelf up at the top. I do pack kids' lunches, so we eat chips, and we go through those on a fairly regular basis. If you see my weekly stockpile, you see me buying those. This is what I kind of call my baking shelf. So these are cake mixes. Don't necessarily use them a ton, but when I find a good deal, I do stock up because I have a good cake mix cookie recipe. Actually, it's only 5 ingredients, and I actually probably use cake mixes more for that. Got a couple deals on those cake mixes. I have back here some corn syrup for caramel corn, and there's some evaporated or sweetened condensed milk I see in the back right there. Woo, I'm gonna drop my apple pie filling. Just one of those for a dump cake. I have it there. Some tuna, Worcestershire sauce. We do a lot of Chex Mixes. There are some cans of tuna, and then some pouches back there. Some of those pouches when I got a good deal, and some dressings right there. I only have one ranch, so I definitely need to restock that. My kids love ranch. This was a clearance deal for Friends there, those fruit rolls. All right, and then this shelf starts our canned goods. So as you see, let's see, there's some croutons right there. And behind it, I have a bag of quinoa, I know back there. I actually have no mac and cheese. This is normally where I keep mac and cheese, and I am totally out. Absolutely no boxes, so that is definitely on my list for stockpiling. We don't eat mac and cheese a ton, but it is great convenience food, and the kids love it. Canned tomatoes, I typically buy petite diced if I can find them. This is my tomato sauce and tomato paste. I keep this stocked because I don't necessarily buy a whole lot of sauces. I have an easy homemade sauce recipe that just uses tomato sauce and paste, and it's really easy to whip up quickly. So I do that. These are peach cups and applesauce cups, some that I use for packing lunches. You'll see more in the basement when I get down there. Sweet cherries were a good deal, some canned ones, and some stuffed olives back there. And then this is our big canned shelf. So pumpkin, and these are all 2 deep and about like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So about 10 cans fit in each of these right here. Pumpkin, we do pumpkin bread. We love that. I bake that regularly, at least twice a month, if not more. In the fall, I'm probably baking it almost every week or doing a double batch at a time. Canned peaches is the kids' favorite fruit aside from applesauce. Those are the 2 canned fruits we typically eat. Refried beans, and I need those for our enchilada casserole. I am totally out of enchilada sauce. I normally stack those on top, just like I do with my sauce and paste, because I know they go together, so I definitely need to restock that. This is actually all the beans I have, so I need to restock those. Some pinto beans, some black beans, a couple garbanzo beans. We don't necessarily use a ton of them, but I have none in the stockpile downstairs, so need to restock that. And then a row of green beans and corn. I definitely have more of those downstairs. 1 thing of lasagna noodles. And then this is my cream of chicken soup, which I use for potato casserole and poppy seed chicken there. And then this next shelf is our baking shelf officially. So it's where I keep my flour and sugar. I have more in big tubs in the basement. And then I keep 1 powdered sugar and 1 brown sugar. Those are some extra marshmallows. But I have 1 box of marshmallows, and then those are like caramels and other baking things right there that I have. And then on the floor is just a couple of the bins, and I'll let you peek inside. So it's lemonade. This small tin is where I keep our mini bags of chocolate chips. So like butterscotch chips, mini chocolate chips, anything in there that is closed. You know, it's just keeping my chocolate safe. So those are all the mini ones. But as those of you know who watch my hauls, when I go to Sam's, I always stock up on the big bags of Toll House. And these are, I think they are like 3-gallon bins from, we have friends who run a Kilwins, and they're always getting rid of these for free. So I have several of these and have started storing things in them. They're great storage, they're food safe, and they seal really tight. So one of these fits 3 bags of chocolate chips. We go through, okay, I bake a lot, if you don't know that. We probably go through about 1 of those a month. I need to track that more precisely. Maybe not on some weeks when I'm not baking, so I should really track that. But I try to always have at least 3 on hand here. And this one I think is almost, yeah, this one's almost done. I refilled them and put them in a canning jar in the fridge when I'm ready for them. So I put that there. And then in the back, we have all these assorted ketchups and leftover Chick-fil-A sauces we should use. And this one I can tell is totally empty, and that is supposed to be oatmeal. So I definitely need to restock on oatmeal there. So that is my main pantry. Honestly, I'll just show you the whole thing again once more. Going up the baking shelves, it's not very big, but I have tried to really maximize the space that I do have there. So then right next to it here is where this was normally our kids' storage space, and I've just kind of taken this over for food things. So I have a couple cornbread mixes there, graham crackers, Toll House crackers. I have no Triscuits. I average about 1 box a month. So I will need to stock up more on all of these things. The cornbread, I'd like to have a little bit more. This really is the best cornbread mix. Side note, this Fleischmann's, it tastes so good. So this is kind of my go-to when I'm making cornbread. So I only have 3 of those. I'd like to have 6. Same thing I think with graham crackers and Toll House, and I'm totally out of Triscuits. So I definitely need to restock those. And then here's my pasta. Now, this may look like a fair amount of pasta because it's too deep, but it's only 10 boxes, and we cook a box at a time now, and we will eat pasta at least once a week. So this really is not, this is not even a 3-month supply right there. So I need to get more pasta, that's for sure. And in the back, I have kind of the cheap Jiffy cornbread. If my son's just in the craving for cornbread and we're not having company, I'll make the cheap stuff there and save the Fleischmann's for better. Some crunchy tacos. I have a couple kids who like the crunchy tacos, and then others who like the flour soft. So I always have both of those. And then I have another Kilwins bin here. And in this one, it's like the assorted Snickers for apple Snicker salad or chocolate bars for s'mores. I just try to keep, again, all the chocolate sealed up so it's just away, and the kids even forget about it too. And then right here, pardon the noise, 2 bags of egg noodles is what I have. So that's kind of my working kitchen pantry. Again, it works, just a little bit of space, but I definitely need to restock. Let me take you downstairs and show you what I have in my stockpile now. All right, so here we are in the basement. I'm not going to go through full detail on why I stockpile everything right here. I'm just going to kind of quickly try to show you what I have. If you want full details on everything, be sure you check back at the end of the month when I do the official stockpile after tour. But here I go. I have some laundry detergent pretty well stocked there, and wipes. This old movie stand has become my fruit for lunches here. As you can see, it's pretty empty. I really need to restock. We're going through at least 2 of those applesauce containers. I'm packing about 3 a day, 3 to 4 between the apples, 4 if I'm counting peaches. So yeah, we're going through 2 of those packs every week. So I really need to fill this up with applesauce and peaches. Apple juice, we go through about 1 a week. I would like that shelf to be fuller, so I want to try to get some apple juice. If I can find a good sale, I might wait on that one just because I tend to buy it at Kroger when it's $1.49. This shelf and we're in the basement. I'm going to try to do best I can with the light here. But I have a couple Crisco oils. I need to buy more oils. I am totally out of my olive oil refill. Those are my last Criscos, which I use for making popcorn and some baking with muffins. Not a lot, but I do still store Crisco to bake with it, the canola oil. Doesn't need to be Crisco, any variety of canola oil. I'll see whatever is cheapest and restock that. This is our condiment shelf. I need at least one more ketchup. That's my last syrup back there, so I need to restock there. The cooking spray, that lasts a couple months for me, but I have room for at least 2 more, and that's probably a year's supply if I have 4. So I want to go ahead and just refill that. And then these are random condiments. I have a hot sauce, barbecue, vanilla. My mom buys vanilla for me in Texas, Mexican vanilla. Love it. I have no extra mayo, which I know I need to restock on too. So I will get that and fill up that shelf. Here's some tea bags. I don't really drink tea, but when people come, it's nice to have that there. Some pistachios, because I buy the big can. And I have 2 baking cocos, and that's all. These are some empty jars. I definitely want to buy more of those because it doesn't expire. Onion soup mix for when I make hamburgers. I could stand to buy some of those. We'll see if I add that this week. A little bit of canned broth. Again, some of my canning things, jalapenos, pickles, sweet cherry salsa. I'll talk you through all of that on the full tour. Shelf full of applesauce, and I have more around the corner, but I will be stocking up on that again. The best deal I can find is at Sam's, 3 jars together for about $2.67, and I've noticed some places it's over 3, so I really want to restock. We can go through about 1 of those a week. We haven't been eating applesauce as much lately, but when we do, definitely at least 1 of those a week when we're doing that. Assorted jars, I've done really well on peanut butter, and I actually probably don't need to buy any more peanut butter because that's 6 in a row times, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4 times 6, 24 jars, plus a couple more there. We bake Buckeyes and make peanut butter sandwiches. I use a lot of peanut butter, so that's great. But I think I'm good on peanut butter for now. I would like to buy a little bit more jam. I only have 4 jars. My kids prefer blackberry or raspberry. I have a couple of chilies for dips. That's really why we use that. Some Old El Paso. I could stand to buy more of that. The refried beans, doesn't matter what variety, as well as enchilada sauce. Like I said, I need to restock those. And then on the bottom shelf, I have 1 sauce just because it was a good deal and some Parmesan cheese. I could add to that. We're looking ahead towards chili season and soup season. This is all the canned tomatoes I have, and I really should restock on that. So I'm going to try to add some more of that. So that's looking these shelves. All right, we're on the other side now. You can see those shelves. Like I said, it's just some storage canning jars right there. That's kind of an emergency bin. I'll talk you through more of that later. This is just looking to see, look at these gaps. Like my shelf, if you saw my stockpile last time, I had no gaps. These shelves were full. Juice boxes are down here. I don't have a problem with mice, but I do not store a lot of cardboard. My kids can take these on Fridays. I let them take a juice box. Otherwise, they get milk or drink water at school. So I could buy some more of those. I have 1 big gallon of vinegar. That's all my tomato sauce and paste. That's all the peaches. I'm running really low on pumpkin, but this is the time I would normally restock, so that's okay. Down there is just some canning things. I'm going to try to squeeze over here. Water heaters right behind, so let's just squeeze through. There you can see in the back some of my bottled water. This is my applesauce shelf. Again, lots of gaps. I want to restock that there. I have some pouches. Those are more for traveling, so I probably won't stock up on any more of that. That'll just be as I see a good deal. On the bottom's baking goods. Again, we'll talk more about that. Here's my cans of green beans and corn. It's okay. I could fill that in. I definitely want to buy more black olives. I buy those at Sam's. It's the best deal I can find for the name brand. The generic we just haven't been impressed by, and we all really love black olives. And these have a super long expiration date. Let's see if I can show you right here. These don't expire for another 3 years, and some of them I've seen 4 years, so I will definitely buy more of those when I'm stockpiling. A little bit of cream of like chicken noodle soup and some cheddar cheese soup. The chicken noodles just for when people are sick, especially my husband. My kids don't really like it, but it's for my husband. Or just in the winter when you want quick soup. And then lots of cream of chicken. However, again, I know fall is the time this goes on sale. And with poppy seed chicken and potato casserole, we will go through probably at least 6 cans a month. So if I multiply that out, we'll see how much I'm trying to get to. A little bit of honey. I don't use a ton of it, but it lasts, so it's on my shelf. I have some canned chicken back there, and I have a fair amount. Again, we don't use it regularly other than for some appetizers, but I do think it is good to have some canned meat instead of just in your freezer. So I'm debating how much more I will buy of the canned chicken. That is actually really good. That's all my tuna, so I will buy some more of that. I have a little bit of powdered milk for baking and some wine there and some chai, and then I do have some long-term food storage. We'll talk more about that in the overview. But again, definitely some gaps. If you watch that video, you can see I have room to add more. And then I have to go through and count, but I do have these tubs, which is where I store my flour and sugar, and I just label them. And I need to count up how much I have here and see how much I'm going to stockpile. All right, let's go back up to the kitchen, and I'm going to tell you my goals now for this month, now that you've seen how things look. There you have it. That is how everything looks right now. I didn't do any cleaning. Like I said, I had just spent some time moving things from the basement upstairs. You know, I restocked a little bit from there, but I really am using this stockpile. I am using everything you see on these shelves. I don't have to worry about things going bad because every week I'm running down to the basement and grabbing something and bringing it up here or using it in my kitchen. Every single thing you see is something I use. So that is one of the benefits. And if you are starting a stockpile, please make sure you are stockpiling things your family use. So as I go forward this month, how am I going to do it? My goal for my stockpile really is to have a 6-month supply of non-perishables on hand at all times. I have a freezer that's full of meat, and that's wonderful, but I really, for this purpose this month, am focusing on the shelf-stable items. So looking at what I have, I'm going to go through and kind of look at some of the recipes we eat on a regular basis and figure out what I need for my stockpile. For instance, we eat enchilada casserole very regularly, at least twice a month. Enchilada casserole uses a pound of ground beef, it uses a can of refried beans, a can of enchilada sauce, a bag of tortilla chips, and a pound of cheese. I know that. So if I am making it twice a month for 6 months, I need to have at least a dozen cans of refried beans and a dozen cans of enchilada sauce on my shelf. I know that. Poppy seed chicken takes 2 cans of cream of chicken soup. Again, we're eating it twice a month. 4 cans times 6 months, that's 24 cans just for poppy seed chicken. Again, I always pay attention to expiration dates, but many canned goods do expire a long ways out. This is how I'm doing it. I'm just taking my things that I know we regularly eat, and I'm doing the math and multiplying out and making my stockpile list from there. Now, when we went in the basement, you could see there were some definite empty shelves, and I'm looking forward to restocking that. It does look different from my original tour. If you're here because of that tour and that's how you found me, yeah, I'm using this pantry, and over the summer, I really was not adding to it a lot, so I'm gonna do something different. Yes, I normally keep our family in a monthly $475 budget, and my stockpile has majority been built with that. However, for those of you who know me, you know that I am going back to teaching part-time this year. I'm teaching kindergarten every mornings, and because we are still budgeting based on my husband's salary, and my money is really going towards some saving goals and some different things that we are working on, this month I'm going to take $250 and set it aside specifically to rebuild and restock my stockpile. How am I going to do that? Well, I have a $100 trip planned at Walmart because I want to show you I'm not just going out and shopping and buying whatever. I really am looking for the best deals. So I will show you $100 what that can buy at Walmart, as well as what $100 can buy at Sam's Club. And then I'm going to fill in some odds and ends either at some other stores, to be determined. I don't know where all that's going to happen yet. And then after, at the end of the month, I will give you a full tour of my stockpile. I explain everything in there, answer any questions you may have, and just show everything, how all the pieces came together. So if you haven't already subscribed, be sure you do. Did you know there's a little red button down there that you can click to get notifications every time I have a video go live. If you want to do that, feel free. But I will have a new stockpiling video every Monday this month. My grocery hauls do go live on Thursday, but then the stockpiling videos will be on Mondays. So I'm excited to share this journey with you. If you do have any questions or there are things you want to see or anything you want to know about stockpiling, do leave those in the comments of this video or any others. I also have a whole stockpiling playlist, and I'll leave that link below. So if this is after the fact or whenever you're watching this video, you can find links to all of the videos that are included and work on building your stockpile too. I'm super excited about this month, and I'm excited to take you along and rebuild my stockpile with you. So thanks for joining me, and I will see you in the next video.